All right, let's get started here. Hopefully we're having a good start to this Thursday. Again, looks like it's going to be another good one for the weather books here for Minnesota. So we should knock on wood. Things are looking good here. But we are in the month of December, and we know that any moment at any time we can get a little snow our way, and that would be fine too. All right. And so with that, today we want to continue with our study of the Great Depression. And you have been for the past couple of days looking at Herbert Hoover and Franklin D. Roosevelt, and looking a little bit at their philosophy, really the philosophy of governing, and their philosophy of what a conservative is and what a liberal is as well. Hopefully, perhaps maybe you took that political typology quiz. All right, and if you haven't, I do encourage you to do that, just to kind of see where you sit on the political spectrum at this given point in time in your life, and you might be surprised of where you are and where you fall. And again, you can find that quiz. I had attached it to the assignment in Schoology, so you can check that piece out there. All right, not that you have to. You don't have to by any means. I know some people are just interested in see where they fall. And you have an idea, but things may change your thinking at that point. All right. So as it says, like on the agenda, that I do have a video clip, and so I'm going to hope that it works, and it does. It's very brief, but it does tie into what we are studying right now with Roosevelt and Hoover and their frames of thinking, and then I want to go from there. So give me a moment. Let's get that video clip up.
Franklin Roosevelt's campaign for president had a buoyancy that seemed to pick up the nation's sagging spirits. As his car swept into the Hollywood Bowl for a huge night rally, the mood was anything but one of depression. Will Rogers kicked things off.
I don't want you to think that it's any wonderful honor to be asked to introduce this gentleman tonight. I'd even introduce Hoover if he'd come here. I'm a broad-minded man, I am. I knew this gentleman. That's why I can be rather familiar with him. I knew him almost in childhood. I knew him when he first started in nominating Al Smith for things. We must have some 80 or 90,000 people here tonight. That's the most people that ever paid to see a politician.
Those who met to sing Herbert Hoover's praises faced a more challenging task. Let's get behind Herbert Hoover? One campaign wit declared that Hoover was so far behind that getting behind him was an achievement in itself. But many Americans did not lose faith in the great engineer. There was a note of almost religious fervor in the president's plea to be allowed to carry on his struggle against the Depression.
This campaign is more than a contest between two men. It is more than a contest between two parties. It is a contest between two philosophies of government.
But Roosevelt saw the struggle in different terms.
I believe that the individual should have full liberty of action to make the most of himself. But I do not believe that in the name of that sacred word, a few powerful interests should be permitted to make industrial cannon fodder of the lives of half the population of the United States.
Now the battle must be continued. We have yet to go a long ways and to capture many positions to restore agriculture and employment. But it can be made plain that if the strategy which we have established is maintained and the battle not halted by change in the midst of action, we shall win.
Change in party leadership does not strike at the fundamental principles of the Republic. On the contrary, it gives opportunity to strip from those fundamentals of the fathers the weeds and the noxious vines that today obscure the simplicity and the cleanliness of its original outline. If you believe in that New Deal that I believe in, you will have done your part towards the restoration of the purity and the success of representative government throughout the land. We face that crisis. We face it with singleness of purpose and, above all, with faith. Keep that faith constant. Keep that faith high. So shall we win through to a better day.
Okay, so you got that little video clip there, and I think just in that little clip, there's some good little nuggets in there that shows some differences between Herbert Hoover and Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1932. Stay the course or try something different kind of approach there, and we knew the election results show that the United States was moving in the direction of Franklin D. Roosevelt. They were intrigued by this idea of a New Deal. Okay, so hopefully in the chat you see that I shared with you a little jam file, and you click on it, and I will show it. All right, so hopefully we see it. Do we see it? I don't think we see it. There we go. Now we see it. So what I would like you to do is put down there what is a characteristic you want a leader to embody, express, possess during crisis times. And so I use the word leader as opposed to, say, president. We are studying president right now, Presidents Hoover and Roosevelt, but we're just talking about maybe, you know, they are a leader. And so perhaps this could be like your boss. This could be a politician, like a president, someone in a leadership position. And, you know, it's crisis moment. What do you want to see them do? All right. And so just please add something at this moment to the Jamboard so we can see what it looks like. Your thoughts. Thank you, Emma, for putting that in there. All right. Seeing some good stuff there. Responsibility, kindness, humility, empathy, confident, gives hope, a message of hope to the people, or give the people a message of hope, stay strong under pressure, ability to accept their mistakes. I mean, those are all good responses so far. And so I know we have a lot more individuals here in class. And yeah, you know, if it looks like it's duplication, that's okay. You know, duplication is fine. I think when we look at leaders in general, we kind of have this laundry list in our idea or in our mind, what we think leaders should embody. All right. And I think a lot of what you have there are good characteristics. And sometimes, you know, for generations, it might be different as well. You know, what perhaps my father and mother's generation, what they perceive a leader to be, could be different than mine. And what I think is definitely could be different here. You know, for me, one thing I think of is decisiveness. You need a person to be able to be decisive, make a decision, but I think the one that says ability to accept their mistakes, I think is a good one, in that it is difficult for us to admit and think that, okay, it didn't work, how to fix it. And if we look at with Franklin D. Roosevelt with the New Deal and all those programs, he must have come to terms with that idea that, okay, this program didn't work, and we need to go in a different direction. All right, so again, look at that list. A lot of good words there, and think about in a couple years. I know we haven't inaugurated the new president yet, but in 2024 we'll have another presidential election, and perhaps think of some of these words when you go to the ballot and make your selection, or not even waiting to 2024, but 2022, where we have a midterm presidential election where members of Congress and local elections will happen before that presidential election. All right. I do appreciate that you have put some ideas down here on this Jamboard. I am always looking for ways to get you more active and more involved in class, and so we'll continue to do that. I will keep this Google Meet open, but today you should be working on finishing up the DBQ, Hoover and Roosevelt, and be sure you submit that. We have not yet had a summative. I would anticipate a summative is down the road here. And so just be ready when that moment happens. All right, if no one has any questions, and you can always put questions in the chat, or you can stay on this Google Meet and have a little Q&A with that. If not, you are free to go and enjoy this beautiful Thursday.